Hi and welcome to Ambrosia. My name is Bhavya Desai and today I'm reviewing the Dram Bell Reserve, which is Kevin Peterson's new whiskey in the market. Now this is currently available in Maharashtra only for a price of rupees 2,450 for a 700 ml bottle. The ABV also percentage on this is 40% and this is the more expensive version of the Dram Bell whiskey. Now this is the more affordable version and I've already reviewed this. This will come in the cards over here. At this price point, you already have some very interesting and established products like for example Ballantine's, Doer's White Label, you have VAT 69, then you have Black and White, and they're doing phenomenally well in this category. But there is something special that the Dram Bell Reserve offers. That specialty is what I'm going to find out in my review today. But before watching this video, please subscribe to our channel. Do look us up on Instagram as well. Also, if you like these sort of things, then I've done a very interesting conversation with the Amrut owner, who is Rakshit Jagdale. Now that is going to come in the cards over here. Do subscribe to that channel as well because we have also done a conversation with the Bacardi MD as well, and I have a lineup of some interesting things coming over there. And of course, let's get started. Now, if you've already seen my review of the Dram Bell Premium, then I suggest that you skip on to this timestamp because that's when we talk a little bit about the blend and that's where a little bit of difference between these two products is. Who are the makers of these Dram Bell Scotch Whisky? It actually comes from this company called Ardent Alcobev Limited, which is a joint venture between Rajasthan Liquor Limited and a couple of industry veterans. Now, KP is actually a marquee investor into Ardent Alcobev Limited. And what's interesting is that he's not just an investor, he's also played a very key role in developing these products. And I had an exclusive conversation with him about this thing, which will come in the cards over here. You can see uncovered some very interesting facts about these products. Now, coming to the blend, major part of what the blending process for both of these products is similar. The biggest difference is that if you see the Dram Bell Reserve is called a reserve because it comes in with a 5-year age statement. And that's the biggest difference it is offering with most of the products in this category and segment. They actually usually have an average blend about 3 years. For the Dram Bell Reserve, it's a combination between a malt and grain spirit, which is 5 years. And that extra 2 years adds a little bit of smoothness, a little bit of complexity, a little bit of character to this flavor and blend. Now, what is interesting about this name? Now, that is because it comes from a tradition during the Victorian times where the distillery would ring a bell and serve a dram of whiskey to its workers. So that's why it was called the Dram Bell, and that's where the name Dram Bell Reserve comes from. Now this is blended, bottled and distilled by Angus Dundee Distillers in the Highland region in Scotland. Now of course these guys are really famous and very well known. They also have some very interesting and famous products. One of the most famous single malts is a Toronto single malt. If you've not tasted it, it's a really good one and I recommend that. Now this blend is made under the supervision of Leon Fortheat, who's Dram Bell's master blender, and there's something unique about the blending process between the two. So let's take a look at that process now. Now this blend uses a combination of aged malt and grain Scotch whiskies matured in first and second fill American bourbon oak casks, and the makers say that this results in a refined and complex flavor profile. The only difference is that the malts which is used in the reserve are aged 5 years. Now I'll explain what does first and second fill cask mean in other review as well. It means that the cask that previously is being used to age sherry, port, bourbon or other aged wine or spirits and now is being used to age another whiskey for the first time. And this process tends to add a distinctive flavor to the blend. Now let's look at the packaging, and before we take a look at the packaging closely, let me just open up this dram and then just let it sit because that just makes the whiskey open up a little bit. The mono carton, if you see, is slightly different from the premium where they'd gone for a maroon color. Now they've gone with the greenish color. It's really nice. It gives you all the important information, including the fact that it's aged 5 years. Apart from that, most of the other information that is available on this whiskey is similar to what you'd see here. Some of the information about its ingredients, and that is very important because the only ingredient which is used actually in this whiskey is that, of course, Scotch whiskey, water and natural color. So that means there is no added color that you see in this blend. Apart from that, now let's look at the bottle. Now the bottle is also obviously very similar to what you see in the premium as well. It is, as I mentioned in the previous review as well, it's a very Toronto sort of a bottle, which is where the moment I see this, the first thing that comes to mind is that. Again, nice look, green color. This also comes with a necktie, as you might know, which is similar to the premium, which gives you all the information about the whiskey. And you obviously have Kevin Peterson who's beaming onto this to give you all the additional information. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty straightforward. Very interesting thing that I found about this bottle is that this actually has a stopper in this price segment. Premium actually does not have a stopper, and maybe I can actually just open it for you to show it as well. This is directly not having a stopper. It's also kind of called a koala cap because they are the ones who patented this technology. Whereas this, because it's a premium segment, that's the reason why possibly they've given a stopper. Also, a small fun fact, the reason why this is actually introduced or this has been created and given in these bottles so that counterfeiting cannot actually happen. Okay, so now let's move on to the most important part, which is the tasting, which is very important. Usually in whiskeys, scotches and malts, it's not something which you really have to like roll around. But ideally what they say is that you just have to use your hands. When you just hold them together, the warmness of your hands just makes the whiskey open up a little bit more to make it a lot more interesting. So let's... Yes, you can surely get a little bit of sweetness as well. There is a little bit of fruitiness to it, which is very similar to what you see from whiskeys which come from the Highland. I think it's a little apple-ish, probably a little pearish. You know, it's a little bit more potent, although it's 40% from the whiff when you take it. As compared to this, it seems a little bit more potent, but very smooth. Definitely, I can get a little bit of spiciness in that respect as well. I'm getting a little bit of lemony, sort of a zesty, orange zesty, lemony zesty sort of a feel maybe. Probably that'll be clear once you taste it a little bit. Let's taste this and see. Yes, definitely a hint of sweetness. I'm getting a little bit of vanilla-ish, caramelish sweetness. Definitely there is some sort of a zesty tone to it. Also another difference is that, you know what, this when I tasted it was a little creamy as well on the palate. This is slightly less creamy. Shortish finish, again very smooth, no burn at all. A little bit of warmness which I got with the premium as well. But this is much more smoother. With the premium I had a little bit of warmness, a very slight hint of burn. With this it's actually just gone down so smoothly I can't even actually get it. There is a little bit of aftertaste of still some vanilla-ish sweetness. I want to get that lemony, zesty. What is that? That's a very intriguing flavor which is coming. Yeah, I think when you're mouthing it in the mouthful, you do get that zesty sort of feeling. Unfortunately, I'm not able to pin down what exactly it is. But then yes, it's actually really smooth, really nice. As I said, there's hardly any burn. I can actually feel a little bit of warmness and it's already gone down. All in all, very interesting. So, what do I think finally about the Dram Bell Reserve? Has Kevin Peterson's 5-year-old age statement blended Scotch whisky rang that dram and rang that bell? I surely think so. The reason is because it is actually giving you something unique in this price segment. Also, another interesting fact is that most of the products which come here in this category, they don't actually give you an age statement on their label, whereas these guys are actually doing it very boldly. Having said that, with that price segment, I think it's surely interesting, something which you surely try. I'm pretty sure that you will enjoy it, especially if you like products like Black and White, White 69 and any of these things in this category. What's also interesting, as I say many times, is this price point is at 2,450 for a 700 ml bottle in Maharashtra, which means when it's going to other states like Punjab, like Gurgaon, like Delhi and all of these places, this will be a lot cheaper, which means it will be far more value for money to you than what it might seem in a state like Maharashtra. So we give it a thumbs up. It's definitely ringing that Dram Bell. Of course, if you like our video, then please check out our other videos as well. Do subscribe to our channel. Look us up on Instagram as well. You can read our magazine in print version, Ambrosia. You can check out our website, ambrosiaindia.com as well. And until next time, very important, drink responsibly.